Hey there, welcome to Math 220. I'm Laura Housley and I'm your instructor, and I'm glad you're here. So I was looking through my book the other day, The Cartoon Introduction to Calculus, and I was reminded of what the introduction of this book says. Calculus is about two mathematical mountains, Mount Derivative and Mount Integral. And Mount Derivative is actually Math 220 and Mount Integral is Math 230. So guys, look, this is awesome because Mount Derivative, I mean, look at this. You can see that it's a mountain, but it's not as crazy as Math 230. Look at this mountain. This is not what we have to do this semester. All we have to do this semester is this. And so this is going to be our goal here, Mount Derivative in Math 220. And then next semester you'll be awesome at Math 230. You'll be this super duper awesome rock climber. But this is our goal this semester, Mount Derivative. And calculus is truly one of the most beautiful ideas that mankind has ever come up with. Um, it just keeps giving and giving and giving in so many ways. So here's sort of our routine this semester. This will happen, we meet twice a week, and so these types of things will happen usually 2 times a week. Before we go to class, you will take a preview quiz. This kind of primes our brains for what we're going to be talking about in class, and you take it at home on Canvas before class. When you come to class, we're going to have some lectures, some discussion, and we'll do a lot of problems together in small groups and as a class. You also will have two assignments pretty much every time we meet in class. Afterwards, you'll have something called a Delta Math assignment. This is these problems are shorter, they're more fluency. If you're thinking of if this was comparing to taking a language class, the Delta Math assignment would be like your vocab. You gotta learn it and you gotta get quick at it. But it's kind of the shorter problems. And then we'll have a textbook and we'll have some more in-depth problems in the textbook that will take longer, but there won't be quite as many of them. And these will be good problems to get our thinking straight. At the end of each chapter, we will take an exam practice problems quiz. So this kind of gets you ready for the exam, the midterm, and then we take a midterm. So how are your grades determined? This is the breakdown. 25% of your grade will be based on homework assignments, quizzes, and some in-class work. And then, of course, the bulk of your grade will be determined by exams. There will be 3 midterm exams and 1 final exams. The 3 midterm exams together will be 50% of your grade, and the final exam will be 25% of your grade. And then a pretty standard chart for how letter grades get assigned at the end of the semester. All right, so calculus is this super duper awesome topic, but guys, this is a 5-credit class. This is almost like taking 2 classes at the same time. It's a lot, and it's a lot of material. It moves fairly quickly. Really depends. It really relies on your pre-calculus foundation. You want to make sure that you're fairly solid on your algebra and even a little bit of trig, but I do want to give you some resources for help along the way as we go this semester. First of all, be in class every time on time. This is a really important foundation. I will have an office hour before each class for a half hour right in our classroom. You can ask me questions there. The CGCC Math Tutoring Lab is on the 2nd floor of the library, and it's an important resource. It's, successful students use it. You can get your questions answered there. It's free. You can just drop in. You don't need an appointment. I will tell you what I recommend the best practice is in using the tutoring lab. Do all that you can on your own first. And you could do this on the 1st floor of the library. They have these awesome big desks or even a room that you can reserve. So do as much as you can on your own. This is going to help your learning and help your brain pick up ideas if you don't rely too much on somebody immediately answering your question. So work as much as you can, but then go to the tutoring center on the 2nd floor of the library and ask those questions that you're just totally stuck on. This is a good combination. If you're only doing this part where you're trying to do everything on your own, you may experience a lot of frustration this semester because there will be problems that that really test you and really push you. And I don't want you spending 6 hours on one problem. That's totally futile. Get help when you need it. But if all you do is go to the tutoring lab and immediately get help, that can be dangerous too. So use this combination, do all you can, and then also ask for help. You can always message me on Canvas. I receive Canvas messages pretty quickly, and definitely quicker than email. I try to respond as quickly as I can. So use this resource as well. One thing I wanted to tell you before we leave here, I do drop your lowest 3 homework assignments. And this is to compensate for emergencies that might happen throughout the semester, possibly, car trouble or whatever. You will be able to drop your 3 lowest homework assignments for any emergencies. And then, but I do not take late homework. So I totally respect that you may have some things come up that are out of your control, and so we compensate for that by dropping those 3 assignments, but then I never, throughout the semester, will accept late homework. You'll find the textbook at activecalculus.org, and it is free. You can use the online version throughout the semester, or you can order a print copy for about $20. I personally love print copies of books. I'm able to learn better from them, but you can do whichever version you want. On this page, you'll see actually 3 textbooks. Make sure that you get the calculus one. It's the one right in the middle. We'll end here with a quote by Steven Strogatz. He's a professor, I think at Syracuse, but he wrote a great book about calculus called Infinite Powers. And he says, without calculus, we wouldn't have cell phones, computers, or microwave ovens. We wouldn't have radio or television or ultrasound for expectant mothers or GPS for lost travelers. We wouldn't have split the atom, unraveled the human genome, or put astronauts on the moon. We might not even have the Declaration of Independence. So there's a lot to love about calculus. It took a world that was very static and made it dynamic and made us able to understand dynamic things so much better, and really did change the history of the world. So going back to this for a minute, I just thought of a good analogy. So I don't want calculus to feel like this. This is what I don't want it to feel like super frustrating and like you're getting nowhere. We want it to feel more like this, like you approached this sort of daunting mountain and climbed it, and you got to the top and you have a view like nobody else that hasn't climbed it can see. You've worked hard, you've made it with the help of others to the top of the mountain. So just a little bit about me. This is me and my husband. I am a math graduate from BYU with my bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree in math from UCLA. I love math. I especially love teaching calculus, and I'm looking forward to a great semester.